Just the whole, just stretching, being able to stretch out, and you're stretching your arms up, that kind of a thing.
Right.
Lifting felt compromised from doing that as well, but and like going to the gym, and just doing the motions. And the interesting part is just like with implants, just being able to lay down and breathe, or just even the weight, because these implants weigh 2.5 pounds a piece. Just the weight, and one of the things that that helped too, releasing the scar tissue, helped me to breathe, because I felt like my whole lung capacity was constricted as well because of the.
This was about as, I couldn't straighten my arm. This was about as far as it could go.
So lifting or reaching or doing, a person who exercises a lot, so not lifting any weights at the gym or anything like that.
Probably more the care. Even just like, holding your hair dryer, trying to dry your hair, or even in the beginning, just, even washing your hair, and just anything that, where you felt like you had chicken arms, little pterodactyl. It's like, couldn't bend, scared to stretch.
Yeah, all of it's effective when you don't feel good, when you can't, if you can't even straighten your arm to reach for something. In fact, I had a family member come stay with me for about a week, and I went to try and reach something out of the cabinet, and it was like that.
Cooking and washing, vacuuming, all of those things that you do routinely, it had some effect, yes. It's wiping myself at the toilet, or washing my face, just brushing my hair, pinning up my hair, putting on earring, anything that revolved my hands or arms also were compromised.
No idea. None of it. I didn't know about cording. I didn't know about AWS. I didn't know about lymphedema. I didn't know about radiation fibrosis either.
Not initially. It was only when I went back for my checkup, months later, to see Tina at the proton therapy. That was when we addressed some of the issues like the fascia release and the scarring and so on.
I knew about occupational therapy for people that needed to relearn, had hand injuries or walking injuries or whatever, leg injuries, but not for this.
I never thought about occupational therapy for breast.
What did you know about occupational therapy?
The only thing I knew about occupational therapy was what I had received and am still receiving for my hand, and also when my mother broke her hip and arm on the right side and had to relearn to eat and walk and so on, she was assigned to occupational therapy. So those were my two experiences with occupational therapy.
It would have been nice to have known up front that these things could potentially happen, just to prepare mentally, because the mental aspect of going through this was the hardest, not so much the physical. It was more mental. There's physical is not easy, I will say, especially 3 years down the road when you're still dealing with physical issues.
Right.
But you feel like you can handle them better being physical. The mental portion is much tougher.
When you've had surgery, all you know is what's been taken out. You don't know what's left with the body. You don't know what the body's doing, and you expect you've been healed, but no one tells you about scar tissue. No one tells you that it continues to grow. No one tells you how it can impact other things, or, it's like, it's like you're having trouble breathing. Oh, well, maybe it's scar tissue that's causing constriction in your chest, and there's ways to move your body or get the myofascial release.
I guess mostly before treatment, I wish I'd understood the broad umbrella of all the things that occupational therapy could be a good match for.
I was actually talking to a friend of mine that had been to Revive Rehab years ago. She had a form of cancer, probably 10, 15 years maybe. And so she was calling to check on me to see how things were going, and I was complaining. And she said, "Why don't you go see Darlene at Revive Rehab? Ask for Darlene. She knows about lymphedema, she knows about all that." So that's how I found out about it. It was through word of mouth from a friend.
And for my breast, a lot of the pain and the scarring is gone, and so I'm looking forward, hopefully, to more of that.
I think kind of the term occupational therapy doesn't really explain what it is, because it makes it sound like it helps you to go back to work, your occupation. But what occupational therapy really does is it helps you get back to life. And most people, unless you're in this small little group, they don't even know, one, that it's available, and don't know, what's the long-term cost by not having it.
You're right.
Because if you wait too long to try to deal with certain scar tissue, it's just that much harder to deal with than if you get it kind of like, it's healed now. Yeah, I got this hot dog, but it's still malleable. You can still manipulate it and reduce the fascia, and it not gonna melt right overnight, but you can continually work on it before it's like as hard as the table, and then trying to work with that.
Right.
So I think it's as soon as possible.
I think that more people, both in the medical community and civilians, I'll call them non-medical people, need to have more of an understanding of all the different areas that occupational therapy can address.